for a ride into opulence? Join us as we unveil the most expensive cars in the world 2024, from wonderful supercars to mind-boggling hypercars. Buckle up for a thrilling ride through automotive extravagance. Let's begin, shall we? Number 8. Brabus 900 XLP, $909,000. German tuner. Brabus produces some of the most outlandish modified Mercedes-AMGs on the market, with the 900 XLP being among the priciest. It's based on the Mercedes-AMG G63 but boasts a long list of upgrades, including boosting power output to 900 horsepower. This is achieved by increasing the displacement of the G-Wagon stock V8, fitting 2 Brabus-designed turbochargers and installing a new ECU, among other tweaks. The power boost brings the car's 0-60 mph time down to just 4.4 seconds, although the top speed is capped at 130 mph. Although the tuner doesn't specify why the car's top speed is limited to a lower speed than a standard G63, it's safe to assume that it's down to the off-road ready body kit and beefy all-terrain tires. The Brabus is both higher and wider than a standard SUV, and it can also be fitted with a roof rack and a winch for more remote adventures. Plus, the pickup bed conversion makes it easy to bring kit and supplies along for the ride. Number 7. SSC Tuatara, $1.6 million. Modern hypercars are often announced in very limited runs, with most or all of their order book filled by a brand's loyal clients long before their public unveiling. This means finding one that's actually available to buy is no easy task. Most exotics unveiled before they're sold out are built by smaller manufacturers who don't have the luxury of a long-existing client base. One such brand is SSC, with its latest hypercar being the $1.6 million Tuatara. The Tuatara drew headlines in 2020 when its maker announced that it had set the production car speed record, reaching 316.11 mph on a closed section of highway in Nevada. Further, independent scrutiny by experts cast doubt on those claims. And the run was never certified by Guinness World Records. A second attempt, this time on a much shorter runway, saw the car reach a two-way average of 282.9 mph. Highly impressive, no doubt, but nowhere near the claimed original figure. Nonetheless, observers at the event noted that it was the length of the runway that limited the car's top speed, not the car itself. Number 6. W Motors Fenrir Supersport, $1.9 million. After the success of the Lykan Hypersport, UAE-based W Motors was quick to follow its debut car up with another, slightly less eye-wateringly expensive offering. While the Lykan Hypersport started at $3.4 million, the Fenrir Supersport cost $1.9 million. Still hardly what most people would consider a bargain. The Supersport was first unveiled in 2017, but it took 2 years for the launch edition to sell out. This ultra-exclusive run of just 10 cars is made even more exclusive by the fact that a single Japanese collector reportedly purchased 5 of those specials in one transaction. Billionaires with 7-figure sums burning a hole in their pockets don't need to worry, though, as W Motors plans to build a further 100 examples of the car after the initial launch run. Each one features an 800 horsepower 3.8L flat-six engine built by Porsche specialists RUF. The sprint from 0-60 takes just 2.8 seconds, while the officially claimed top speed is 248 mph. If a standard Fenrir seems just a little too common, then W Motors also offers an extensive customization program where buyers can add their own personal touches, all at an added cost, of course. Number 5. Koenigsegg Gemera HV8 $2.1 million. Despite promising to step away from chasing top speed records with the launch of the Jesko Absolute, Koenigsegg is still very much in the business of making absurdly fast cars. The 4-seater Gemera is one of its latest creations, with a hybrid setup featuring an inline 3-cylinder as standard and an option for a hybrid V8. The latter is the most expensive of the two, costing a reported $2.1 million, around $400,000 more than the base Gemera. It's also the most powerful of the group, with 2,300 horsepower combined output, 1/500 of which is delivered by the combustion engine. In its standard 3-cylinder hybrid form, the Gemera delivers a still exceptional 1/400 combined horsepower, so a 4-figure power output from a hybrid with one less cylinder than a Prius. Number 4. Rimac Nevera, $2.2 million. With a number of electric hypercars now claiming horsepower outputs that would have seemed unthinkable just a decade or two ago, it's easy to forget just how extreme a car this powerful is to drive. We spent some time behind the wheel of the Rimac Nevera Time Attack, a special variant of the Croatian hypercar limited to just 12 units. and left questioning whether a non-professional racing driver could even cope with driving something more powerful at its limits. The Nevera Time Attack is already sold out, but the standard Nevera remains available for now, with a starting price of around $2.2 million. The Nevera produces 813 horsepower from 4 electric motors and boasts a 0-60 mph time of just 1.85 seconds. It can officially reach a top speed of 258 nm, and, thanks to its unrelenting acceleration, it will hit high triple-digit speeds quicker than almost any other production car on the planet. Straight-line speed is one thing, but the Nevera also excels in the corners, both on the road and on the track. There's also a drift mode available for sideways thrills. Number 3, Gordon Murray. Automotive T33 Spider, $2.3 million. The designer of the McLaren F1, Gordon Murray, unveiled his most famous car's spiritual successor in 2020. Christened the GMA T50, the car sold out extremely quickly after launch, as did later GMA models, the T50s, and T33. A notice on the Gordon Murray website declares that it's now too late for collectors to get their hands on any of those exclusive cars. But as of this writing, it's still possible to register interest in the T33 Spider. It's limited to 100 units, and by the time of its unveiling in 2023, close to half the production run had reportedly been sold. Much like the T33 Coupe, the Spider features a 3.9L Cosworth-built V12 engine making 607 horsepower. That V12 is naturally aspirated and redlines at 11,100 RPM. That might not be quite as lofty as the T50, but it's still enough to give the T33 Spider a soundtrack that will be completely different from any other sports car of its size. The T33 Spider is also designed to be better suited for long road trips than other 7-figure supercars. With 10.4 cubic feet of luggage space, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for navigation and entertainment. It starts at $1.8 million, which is roughly $2.3 million. And the first examples aren't set to be delivered until well into 2025. Number 2, Deus Vayan, $2.5 million. Launched at the 2022 New York International Auto Show, the Vayan is the first car from the Austrian supercar startup Deus. Ambitious car startups are a dime a dozen, but Deus does boast some notable partnerships that put its chances of production a cut above most. For example, its founders have inked a deal with Italdesign to build cars in its facility in Turin, Italy, from 2025. Italdesign's factory has previously built everything from the BMW M1 to the recent Nissan GT-R 50, and also the brand's own limited-run hypercar, the Zerono. Number 1, Lotus Evija, $2.6 million. The most expensive and most powerful Lotus road car ever made has been on the market for several years now, first being unveiled back in 2019. At launch, it was reported to cost $2.15 million, with a production run capped at 130 units. However, production delays coupled with the impact of the pandemic meant that it took until 2023 for the first examples to be delivered to customers, with the handovers being conducted at the Monterey Car Week. Reports in 2020 claimed that the initial year's production run had sold out. It seems a few of the later build slots remain unsold. A 2023 report by CarBuzz claimed that an unspecified number of Evija build slots were still available, with a revised price of $2.6 million. The configurator is also still live on the brand's website, so it seems for now, the Evija takes the crown as the most expensive new car currently on public sale.